And Kenny, we're making this for you. We really
Yes.
are shouting out Kenny because he was the one that got Zach and I started on this idea that we could help organizations um, have infrastructure, which is what BCHIP stands for,
Mm-hmm.
infrastructure funds for mental health services. And there
Yep.
are many choices. We happen to work with 3 organizations that chose the peer respite, but these are about everything from acute care to outpatient, intensive outpatient, the whole gambit.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a really unique opportunity because these funds come from Bond One, which is a California initiative that we voted on, and it rolled out really fast, like literally voted on in March, and by October there were appointments being made to see if if the organization was really ready and had any questions. They called it a pre-application. So
By the
they
way,
just
we're
yeah,
both from California.
yeah, we both are.
Yeah.
He's from Northern California, though.
Yeah. The better half.
No, that's not how it works. Um, so this pre-application process, Zach, I wanted to I was rambling on a little bit. I wanted to ask you about it. Like, what was the pre-application appointment? What you thought it was going to be?
Oh, Holly, it was that and so much more. The pre-application. It feels like, honestly, it feels like ages ago.
Well, I'm going to refresh memory. We went
Thank
in
you.
with a member of the AHP. I wish I could remember what that stands for right now. It'll come to me.
Yes. Alliance Health Project we'll have to do for now.
Applied Human Potential. I
That
remember.
sounds even better.
Yeah, well, that's what they are. They're a national organization that is a third-party administrator for state and mostly state and county funding. And so they had technicians. It's called technical advisement, otherwise known in the grant world as TA. And
Hmm.
it was not what I thought it was, actually. I think that what was gravely missing in those appointments was the amount of attachment documents that were going to be required depending on what kind of construction level the organization was going to do. And maybe
Hmm.
because we had the family home conversions renovating for the disability, the ADA, but I would have really liked it to be beaten upon the head and shoulders. Okay, no, gently brought towards this understanding of like for each project development team member, so that's the construction manager, we need their resume, the
Mhm.
contract they have, or an explanation like if they worked for the city, because the city was one of our clients. And that was just one place. So then that contract manager had to, if they were the licensed contractor and the architect wasn't used, they had to sign off on the site plans. So now we've got before and after site plans. They have to do the list, the rough order of magnitude. So many things I didn't even know before I started, as well
Holly,
as the
yeah.
resume and the contract and being on that. This person is involved in 7 attachable documents. One person.
Holly, this sounds so complex and potentially very frustrating and time consuming.
It is. It is exactly that. So well said. Frustrating, time consuming, complex, and we were well prepared and yet ill prepared at the same time. So,
Ooh,
yeah.
plot twist. Okay, so let's start with the bad-ish, bad, and end with the good.
Okay, so I think the first mistake I made, and I'm going to say me in this case, was that I did not prepare one of our organizations for the 150 attachments that they were going to need for just a renovation application.
Yes, a lot of attachments.
That's a lot of attachments. I mean, in our pages.
When
So
you say you didn't prepare, yeah, of course, but when you said you didn't prepare them, can you say more about that? What did that look like?
well, sure.
Boots on the ground.
I have some wonderful experience with an organization we're going to talk about tomorrow, and I'll shout them out, the Naruse Clinic Foundation. They are a very well grant-ready organization. If we ask for a budget for the project, they have it. If we ask for resumes for the staff, they have it. If we ask for contracts, they have it. So with this other organization, they were not as prepared, and this was the first grant application that the CEO had participated in. Like
Mhm.
before, all he did was sign. He had never had to write a letter or get letters of support or negotiate these
Yeah.
deals. All right, that was mistake number one. The organizational mistake was that they were siloed in this project. So there was a one person doing the pre-application meetings and conversations with the co-applicants, and but that person was not communicating with the CEO.
Mhm.
So suddenly they had some suddenly a moments that we had signed them on Well, we had tried to sign them on 6 weeks. So there was a third mistake. You and I just didn't go in there in person and say, sign these so we can get started.
Yep.
Because having only 3 weeks to do these two applications, even with a team of 7 people per application,
Tall
not
order.
enough.
Tall order. Tall
Well,
order. Yes.
I mean, it was enough because the applications were submitted and all
That's
attachments were
right.
there. But it was a tall order because the nonprofit was not prepared for the requests that were going to be required. I mean, I know some of this is hindsight, but it's also what we do as part of our grant writing and management services is have these post reports, kind of using this formula of RACI, responsible, accountable communication and information.
Yes.
So I'm taking that as our responsibility to inform clients what's going to be required for the B chip. Round 2 is coming out in May. So we're recording this to kind of be like, here are the pitfalls to avoid and 3 things you must do now to get ready for May.